If it was meant to break you, it would have. If it was meant to stop you, you wouldn't be here. If it was meant to hold you back, you wouldn't be pushing forward. If it was meant to silence you, you wouldn't be able to hear your inner voice. If it was meant to destroy you, you wouldn't have built back stronger. But you did, and nothing can take that away from you. All the studies show that when we make a decision because we don't want to be alone, we pick the wrong person. All the studies show we stay with the wrong person when we're scared of being alone. And thirdly, we settle for less than we deserve. We have to realize that the person you're going to pick when you're alone is almost guaranteed to be the wrong person. You're going to accept behavior you never would. You're going to settle for language you never would. You're going to accept actions that you never would because that's where your decision's being made. I think so many people today who are desperate and scared of being single don't realize that that pain of being single is far less than the pain of being in a relationship and wanting a divorce or a breakup. When you're in that position, you can't get out of it. It's a lot harder than the pain of, will I find someone?
Hello, hello, it's me. How are you?
When you start, they'll laugh. When you grow, they'll cheer. When you win, they'll judge. When you fail, they'll talk. People celebrate what's easy to admire, but not what's hard to achieve. They like a rising star until it outshines them. Don't live for the applause. As the saying goes, keep working in silence until your success makes the noise.
What I felt for Benny, it was everything about him was honest. It wasn't just that he was honest with me. He was honest about where he was at in life, and he'll tell me anything that he's feeling, and it made me feel like I could do the same. But he's the one person, you know, when you're saying those nice things to me, babe, it's like so sweet, but I believe him to where I'm not going to believe someone who is blowing smoke up my butt to just make me feel good. He's saying it because he means it, and I believe it.
If you love someone and they say they love you, a hard conversation should bring you closer together. A hard conversation should not push you away from each other. If you're scared to have a hard conversation with someone you love, that means you're not that close. As soon as my life gained momentum, I promised myself I would never take my foot off the gas. I was like, I never thought this.
You like a motherfucker. I'm like, whoa.
Jay Shetty is a former monk, #1 New York Times bestselling author, and the media visionary behind On Purpose, one of the world's most popular podcasts with over 35 million downloads every month.
If I really want to spread wellness at the pace people want entertainment, if I really want to make wisdom go viral, I have to be sincere and strategic. I have to be purposeful and passionate.
From corporate consultant to global pioneer of conscious living and leadership, Jay has built a purpose-centered business that guides others to their true calling, all while boldly living out his own.
If you're insecure about where you're at, if you're jealous, judgmental of where you're at, that's what you're going to be like when you're at the top of the mountain or when you're at the bottom of the mountain. If you're not thankful for where you're at, it doesn't matter how much you'll achieve, you'll never be thankful.
Today, Jay pulls back the curtain on his daily rituals, proving that self-care and relentless ambition aren't at odds. They actually power each other.
People who love peace need to learn to organize themselves as well as those who love war.
He'll share the non-negotiables that fuel his peak performance and could transform yours.
This is like a light bulb moment for me. Do you think that you can be an absolute animal and be at the top of your game and have the purpose element that you've got?
I want the most successful people in the world to be the most purposeful people in the world. That would build a better world.
In this episode of Aspire, get ready for Jay Shetty's blueprint to thrive at the highest level without ever losing yourself. Does Jay Shetty ever get to the point where you're like, I'm so annoyed and angry? Like, do you ever just lose it? Please.
I'm going to give you the honest answer. I often say to people, you'll get to where you want in life, just not in the way you imagine it. So many people don't get to where they want because the path looks different to what they imagined. the path, the road, the journey to where you want to go is definitely going to look different to what you planned. I'm certain of that. There is no one in the history of the world who got to where they want to in love, relationships, or their career in exactly the way they planned.
Disney, all of the characters are trained that when a little kid hugs you, you may not let go until the little kid lets go first.
Oh, that's so good.
Isn't that the best? You hug the kid. Oh, it makes me cry. You hug the kid as long as the kid wants to hug you. And now do that with a friend. Hug your friend until they let go. You know, apply the Disney rule.
In-law issues are couples issues. So people think it's about the mother-in-law, the father-in-law. It's about the two of you. And if your partner, whose parent that is, cannot talk to their parent on your behalf, that's a couples issue. So the person will say, oh, it's really not that bad. But if your partner is saying, I am really struggling with this, and it's not your, it's not their parent, you need to talk to your own parent about this. You need to have your partner's back. And if you don't, your partner is going to feel that you are treating them the same way that their parent is. You might not be doing the same thing, but the fact that they don't have your support is going to pull you apart in this marriage, because your partner, it's not about taking sides. It's about prioritizing this couple's relationship and saying, listen, when you do this, it makes my wife feel like she's not a good parent or she's not a good wife. And you might have these values, Mom, and I understand that, but I don't want you saying those kinds of things. You can have whatever thoughts you have. Please don't say them to me or to my wife, because I'm very happy with our relationship. And what you're really standing up for is the relationship. It's not just standing up for your partner. It's standing up for, we understand each other. We can talk about these things with each other. And we do not want that kind of interference.
I want to introduce our very special guest. I love you too. Please don't say that again, because I'm going to say it back every time, and then we're not going to get anywhere with this. Why do you watch this stuff? You're still watching this? Wait, what's that guy's name again? Wait. Didn't she fancy him last week? Can you turn that up a little? She got a text! She got a text! Kate, I want to talk about how you found out on the day that we sadly lost Liam. What happened that day? Where were you? And how did you find out?
I was on the couch and I got a phone call from one of Liam's friends, and he called me and said, is Liam okay? I heard he fell from a balcony. I was like, that's not true at all. Like, there's no way. This isn't true. And when his friend first called me too, he didn't mention anything about death. So the first thing that went to my mind was either it was a rumor, just something for clickbait, or he fell off a balcony and he broke a rib. Like, he's okay. So I'm making all these phone calls and nobody's answering. And I'm starting to get a little bit panicky. I call his friend back and I say, have you heard any updates? I'm really confused. Like, what's going on? And he was like, the only update I've heard is that Liam's dead. And in that moment, I still didn't believe it to be true. There was just no way. I kept saying, no. Are you sure? He's probably just, he broke a bone, he broke a rib, he broke something. Like, he's not dead. He's not dead. There's no way he's dead. There's no way. And at this point, I just lost it. Even talking about it, it brings all these emotions back where it's just still doesn't even feel true. Talking about it, sometimes I can talk about it without crying, and then other times I can't really even speak. It was hard, and it just something I never thought I would ever get that phone call.
The first time I ever saw you, you were suspended in this box in the middle of London. You were in it for 44 days.
I was on the edge of irreversible organ failure. I do have effects that haven't recovered since, and that was 22 years ago.
He's known the world over for his street magic and endurance stunts.
I love the reactions you get doing these tricks.
The human endurance part is what's so fascinating about it.
Just went for it. Took an x-ray. The knife was on the edge of the nervous system. It was really at that exact line. When you're out of your comfort zone, when you're breaking that.
How do you get out of that?
Well, this series did that.
What's the illusion that's kept you up the most nights?
Body is capable of doing things that science and doctors don't even imagine could be possible.
Is there anything that you're actually scared of? And there's this feeling today that I have to get it 100% right. And the truth is, we're going to fumble and we're going to fall. And maybe one day I'm not going to be the best at work. And maybe I am going to say something to my wife that I regret and I want to take back. And maybe I'm not going to be present at every recital. And maybe, and that's the reality. And I think we've stopped looking at life as this real, honest, transparent, flaw-filled dance. And we almost want it to be like, well, if I devote my life to this, then I will be able to eliminate all forms of trauma, pain, and stress. And I just don't think it's real. So I think we're seeking that permission. I think that we're looking for someone to say, it's okay. Real friends clap the loudest when you win, even if they're still waiting for their turn. Real friends lift you up, even when they're carrying their own weight. Real friends know your success is a reflection of hard work, not luck. Real friends are happy to see you shine because your light doesn't dim theirs. And real friends do the same back.
Women's intuition is extremely powerful. I'm a huge believer in it. And I feel like women know very early, this isn't it. But they rationalize reasons to convince themselves to give this man a chance. And this, again, is a waste of time because it just doesn't work. I've seen people turn what should have been maybe a couple weeks of dating into years of being married to someone they were not happy with. All because they did not listen to themselves from the beginning. They knew what it was, but they just could not accept it for what it was.
They found that attractive women, the most attractive women who are rated on their attractiveness, got approached less than unattractive women who didn't signal enough.
Fascinating.
So if you're an attractive woman and you don't signal enough, you won't be approached.
Do you have to approach more based on how objectively attractive you are?
You have to be available more. Sometimes I think we use attractiveness as an excuse. I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not this enough. No, actually, some unattractive women who signaled availability got approached more.
Wow.
And so availability actually makes you more attractive. When you think about your hair, your outfit, how you look, how you smell, all those things are great, but they will not work if you do not know the body language signals of availability.
One of the best lessons in the world. Saying you're sorry doesn't mean you're wrong.
Correct.
Saying you're sorry means you take accountability for the things you said or the actions that were performed. And when people are like, well, I don't have to say sorry if I didn't intend them. Well, if you're walking through the airport with your wheelie bag and you run over someone's foot by accident, you turn around and they turn around and you're like, I'm so sorry.
Absolutely.
Right? Didn't do it on purpose, but it is your wheelie bag.
Yeah.
Now, if they turn around and look at you waiting for the sorry, and you're like, and you look and be like, what? I didn't do it on purpose. And a fight will ensue.
Yeah.
You will get yelled at.
That's a great example.
Right?
Yeah.
You didn't do it on purpose. It's still your wheelie bag. Right? You didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
They're still your words. They're still your actions. Doesn't mean you were wrong, but they are yours. And all you have to do is apologize because it did come from you.
There's this great quote I love from Bruce Lee where he said, I'm not scared of the man who's practiced 15,000 kicks one time each. I'm scared of the man who's practiced one kick 15,000 times.
You got to figure it out. And I think these days, parents don't want that process of watching their kids figure it out. And I get it. It is hard to watch the person that you love literally walk into a wall that you see, because our instinct as parents is to go, sweetie, no. You are walking right into a wall. Let me stop you and sit you here and be safe with me. Now I feel better, right? And the truth is that sometimes, at least I've learned with my kids, they have to walk into that wall. They have to bump their head hard. And it hurts me to see it, but I found that they learn faster that way than me keeping them from bumping their heads.
Right now, we estimate that approximately 80% of people who have sleep apnea are undiagnosed.
That's crazy.
Please welcome Matt Walker.
What is good sleep, and should we just use the metric of quantity? The range is somewhere between 7 to 9 hours. Once you start to get less, the shorter your sleep, the shorter your life. When sleep is abundant, all of a sudden your appetite hormones are rebalanced, so you naturally stop eating as much as you wanted to. The weight starts to come off you, and you're simply sleeping the weight off yourself.
It sounds like you're saying that sleep is that number one domino that then naturally helps all of the others.
If you are not sleeping in harmony with your natural biological sort of rhythm, then your sleep quantity and quality is worse. Regularity may be as, if not more important than quantity. And I would say to anyone listening, if you're going to do anything with this podcast, just do this one thing.
No one is ever going to love you exactly the way you want. That's your job. No one is ever going to read your mind or heal your wounds. That's your job. No one is ever going to accept you for who you are unless you do it first. No one is ever going to make you feel whole if you keep handing them missing pieces. No one is ever going to make you feel enough unless you stop apologizing for being too much. No one is ever going to love you perfectly. All they can do is love you honestly. I always say to people that if you envy someone, go and study them. Go and actually look at their life. If you want to compare yourself to someone, get really good at comparing. Now you don't just get to compare the good day. You don't just get to compare, their relationship. Compare everything. You have no idea that person just talked to their mum last night and had a massive argument.
Yeah,
you have no idea that their family member has an illness. You have no idea that their kid is getting bullied in school.
Yeah.
So it's if you're going to compare
and you don't know where they
everything,
started.
y'all
don't have the same starting point either. That's the big thing too.
That's a great point. You got to study where they started.
Yeah.
You're just studying where they ended up. And it's if you actually look to day 1, chapter 1 in that person's life, it doesn't look like chapter 20.
No.
And so you're at chapter 1, live chapter 1, and look at where they were at chapter 1.
Baby, this is Kiki.
Shh. It's the UPS guy. Where are you going, Riley? You live here. Don't fall in love too fast. You don't truly know someone until you've seen them when they're tired, stressed, broke, or hangry. The right person will make the hard times easier. If there's one message I want you to walk away with today, it's this. Your purpose does not have to be your job. Your purpose does not have to be big. Your purpose does not have to make you money. Your purpose does not have to make you famous. Your purpose can be something you do on the weekends. Your purpose can be something you do in the evenings. Your purpose is something no one can take away from you. So find something you care about. Find something that breaks your heart open a little. And then get involved. You don't need $1 million. You don't need a title. Use your passion in the service of others, and it will become your purpose. Class of 2025, congratulations. Thank you so much. How do you let someone know that they should make a move without giving it away?
It's a phenomenon called signal amplification bias. We tend to think we are over obvious with our cues. So if you're in a bar, they literally studied singles in a bar nightclub setting. Women and men who think they are being obvious with their flirtation cues, the other person has no idea. Okay?
That's so good.
They observed singles mingling and they counted each person's flirtatious signals towards other people in the room. They found in 10 minutes, how many signals do you think it took for a woman to show a man she was interested in?
Now that you've given me some sort of, I'm going to go 30.
29.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's it. Yeah. But do you know how many signals that is in 10 minutes?
That's a lot of signals.
That is pretty constant.
Well, I probably would have said 3, 7.
That is what women think. I sent 3 flirty glances and he just didn't come over. He's not interested. No, he didn't see him. Or he doubted himself. It took 29 signals in 10 minutes to get approached. So the other person went, she's interested, just interested. That was before even the conversation started. In the same group of studies, they found that attractive women, the most attractive women who were rated on their attractiveness, got approached less than unattractive women who didn't signal enough.
Fascinating.
So if you're an attractive woman and you don't signal enough, you won't be approached.
Do you have to approach more based on how objectively attractive you are?
You have to be available more. Sometimes I think we use attractiveness as an excuse. I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not this enough. No, actually, some unattractive women who signaled availability got approached more.
Wow.
And so availability actually makes you more attractive. When you think about your hair, your outfit, how you look, how you smell, all those things are great, but they will not work if you do not know the body language signals of availability.
I can tell when I walk into a room when someone wants me there or not. Terrible tendency is sort of almost shut down immediately.
The Grammy, Emmy, and Tony Award-winning actor and singer you know from The Color Purple, Harriet, and Wicked.
Oscar-nominated, incredible actor, singer, author, and producer,
Cynthia Erivo.
What is the right type of validation to crave?
All of it is healthy and all of it is unhealthy. So it's lovely to hear it, but if you don't feel that way about yourself, none of the comments, none of the making someone finally fall in love with you matters.
You always felt like you didn't fit in.
I had to come to terms with the fact that I don't think I'm ever going to fit in, and why would I want to?
We don't want to let people down. We want people to be happy. We don't want to break someone's heart. But the reality is, that is how the way things go.
I feel like a villain for doing it, for hurting someone. And this may be a hard thing to say, but sometimes hurting someone actually aids the growth of another person.
Have you ever been heartbroken?
They say never meet your heroes, but Jay Shetty did not disappoint. We headed to the Chicago Theater for his On Purpose live tour presented by Chase Sapphire Reserve. Before the main event, I attended the VIP experience that included a meet and greet, small group Q&A, and an intimate guided meditation led by the modern monk himself. After feeling fully set, the show kicked off. Jay even brought out Chicago legend Common for a live podcast. The tour is still going on, so I'll avoid any other spoilers. Chase Sapphire Reserve card members can book the VIP experience through Chase Ultimate Rewards, so head there to book your experience.
How do we lose that stubborn belly fat?
The sprint intervals plus the weightlifting is what's going to transform your body. And you may never get rid of that extra little inch, but you'll get rid of most of it. You'll get rid of the back fat. You'll get rid of the heavy hips people don't like. And you will decrease visceral fat, the fat that is inside smothering your organs will decrease. And that's what we really want.
It's not me anymore. Whoever Lizzo is to the world is not really even me. And that disconnect is depressing.
The Grammy goes to Lizzo.
What's making you feel like now's the right time, and what's giving you the confidence and courage to feel that way?
I think what I learned about fame is even if that's really me, it just becomes kind of like character. It's a brand that now doesn't belong to you anymore. There was a huge scandal. I was dealing with a lot.
Sometimes I feel like the world just don't love me back.
I had my first panic attack ever. And I had this thought, I was just like, you want to die? Okay, well just die. Like, nobody will fucking care.
I think it's also hard when the things that you stand for are the same things that you're being scrutinized for.
So when I pop out on a red carpet or when a video suddenly goes viral and my body's different, it appears like it was overnight. The weight that is no longer on me is not just fat or physical. I released so much to get to this point. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like I've expressed myself fully in the last 2 years.
The experience of life has taught me is to never worry. No matter what, you're going to be fine. I think one of my biggest fears used to be like, what if I lose everything, right? And what if I have to go back to growing up in Detroit in the hood, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, well, I was happy there too. Like, I shouldn't be scared to lose any of this stuff because this stuff is conditional. And it's like, I'm gonna be good wherever I'm at. I remember when I talked to Sadhguru, I was like, where's your favorite place in the world? He's like, wherever I'm at. And I was like, damn, you never have to worry. You could be fueled. You could let something inspire you to be greater. You could let something light a fire under you, but like, don't ever worry because you have what it takes to get to wherever you got to get to.
How much sleep do we actually need?
The range is somewhere between 7 to 9 hours for the average adult. And what we certainly know is that once you start to get less than 7 hours of sleep, we can measure impairment in both your brain performance as well as your body metrics. The shorter your sleep, the shorter your life. Short sleep predicts all-cause mortality. So duration, total amount, is necessary.
Hey babe, did you know that women speak 30,000 words a day on average and men speak 15,000 words a day?
What'd you say, babe?
It's because we have to repeat ourselves.
Women fall in love in 3 stages. And if any of those stages are missing, the relationship will either break down very quickly or it will break down very slowly, but it will break down. And I call it the 3 A's. The first thing is women have to be truly attracted to their man in order for the relationship to actually turn into love at some stage. There has to be physical attraction because naturally that fades with time and, with so much familiarity. If we don't have that to begin with, it can become very difficult to start a romantic relationship. So I always say it starts with attraction. The second stage for a woman to truly fall in love with a man, she has to admire who he is. And what that means is, with or without her influence, he's just a man that she admires. He's got a great job, he's got a good network of friends, he's got lots of self-control, he's not an addict and he's not addicted, he's got a good level of self-control in terms of money, his body, his sexual behavior, is not all over the place. So she truly admires him. And then once she's attracted and admires him, then she needs adoration from him. He needs to show her, adore her, reassure her, all of those things. If she gets all 3 of those, chances are that relationship won't break down. But if any of those are missing, maybe he adores her, absolutely adores her, but she's not truly attracted to him, at some stage the relationship will break down because adoration will feel like neediness. Or let's say, for example, she's truly attracted to him and he's giving her lots of reassurance, but he's not an admirable man. He's not working, he's not achieving, he's not doing a lot, even though she might love him and it might be a slow breakdown, but at some stage she'll need someone she can admire, particularly when she has children. So without those 3 ingredients, I don't think women realize this, but if any of those are missing, they will at some stage lose interest.
If you still see your mom calling on your phone, that's a blessing. If you still see your dad calling on your phone, that's a blessing. If your sibling texts you nonsense, that's a blessing. If your grandparent still remembers your name, that's a blessing. If your friend still calls just to check in, that's a blessing. If someone prays for you, that's a blessing. If someone tells you, call me when you get home, that's a blessing. One day it won't be there. Just remember that.
The two most important questions in science right now: what's the universe made of? 70% of the universe is a mysterious entity called dark energy, and we have no idea what it is. 27% is another mysterious entity called dark matter. So bottom line, what's the universe made of? Nothing.
One of the most prolific, inspiring thought leaders of our time.
Deepak Chopra has been at the intersection of science and spirituality for almost a half century.
Now you're sharing with us that the secret to our spiritual success is hidden within the use of AI.
I started playing with ChatGPT, Perplexity, DeepSeek. I started actually arguing with these AI services. All the chatbots started supporting my argument based on the prompt. So I realized that even AI has selection bias. It has a gender bias, it has a racial bias, even a scientific bias.
There's such a fear right now around AI, especially its ethics and bias.
AI, in principle, could cause human extinction. Technology is way ahead of our spiritual evolution.
Yes.
That's a very dangerous combination. There's a critical mass of people shifting in consciousness. We are in trouble.
The bad times in our life genuinely show us the great people. Because it's at that point that you're hard to support, you're hard to love, you're hard to give energy to. It might not be popular to be your friend, what does that prove? It proves that person values you more than popularity. It proves that person values you more than their reputation. It proves that that person values you more than all the stress. That is the most special person you'll ever meet. And everyone has at least one of them. But the problem is we want attention from these people, so we lose affection from these people. If our relationship means I can't ask you the question, then it's a weak relationship. If I ask you the question and we have a great conversation, now our relationship is strengthened by it. We actually got closer. A hard conversation should make you closer to the person. A hard conversation should not make you further away from them. My favorite quote is from Wayne Dyer. He said, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Your thoughts are a story, but here's the best part. You can write the next line right now. Actually, you get to choose the title of the next chapter right now. You get to write the next few pages right now. When you change the story, you change the feeling. When you change the perspective, you change the power. When you change the lens, you change your life. Negative stories exhaust you. Positive reframing energizes you. Negative thinking shrinks you. Positive reframing frees you. Small changes in your viewpoint can lead to big changes in your vision. Some people drain you. Some people pour into you. Some people break you down. Some people help you rebuild. Some people challenge your worth. Some people remind you of it. Some people come as storms. Some come as shelter. Don't confuse them with each other when they arrive. Know who to let go of and who to hold on to. What I'd like people to remember is that you're not stuck. You're actually grieving a past version of yourself. So there's a part of you that's died, that actually you left behind a long time ago, but there's a part of you that still misses it. You still want things to be the same. You still want things to be that way. And that keeps pulling you back. And that's actually blocking you from making the next move. It's stopping you because life used to be this way or life used to feel this way. And so we're stuck, not because we don't know what to do next. We're stuck because there's a part of us that wants to hold on to what we have here. There's a beautiful Zen teaching that says, what's holding you back is what you're holding on to. What are you holding on to that's holding you back? There's an identity, an idea, a mindset, a behavior, an attitude that is keeping you held back. And once you let go of that, once you open and release your hands, all of a sudden you feel free. So what identity, what habit, what mindset, what expectation are you letting yourself be held back by that if you were to let go of, you could easily move forward? Your life doesn't need to line up with anyone else's. You might not be married by 30. You might not have your dream job by 35. You might not have a family by 40. That doesn't mean your life isn't great. Don't let the pressure of when stop you from enjoying where you are now.
The moment you heal your self-esteem, you'll have a natural distaste towards things that are bad for you. People who don't love you, people who don't treat you right. How you know your self-esteem is improving is that the moment those people start treating you badly, you lose attraction to them.
The psychologist, teacher, and relationship expert.
What would be your advice to someone who feels like they've got ghosted?
Chances are they're hiding information. Ghosters, regardless of their reason, they're still poor communicators. The best predictor of future relationships is their past relationships. People are their patterns. My number one client is a man who's just been cheated on. The women are cheating on the men.
No.
A lot more than I ever expected.
What's the worst thing to say to someone who's just gone through a breakup?
Well, you knew he was like that anyway, so what's the problem?
What can a woman do to make sure a man doesn't cheat on her?
Have a willingness to walk away when she's being disrespected. That's all it really takes.
Wow. This is without a doubt my favorite relationship episode we've ever done. Remember this. Read in between the lines. I'm just bad at texting is code for you're not a priority. I'm confused about what I want is code for I'm sure I don't want you enough. I'm bad at communicating is code for I'm not willing to put in the effort with you. I don't know what I'm looking for is code for I'm keeping my options open. I'm just focusing on myself right now is code for I don't see a future with you. I'm not ready for anything serious is code for I'm ready, just not with you. People make time for what they care about. People make effort for who they value. People show up for who they want. Excuses are translations. Listen to what they're really saying and protect your energy. Believe the patterns, not the promises. Actions are the only real language you can trust. We're really quick to forget that the day we're living today is a day we dreamed of 10 years ago. Maybe not in a complete picture, but there's a part of your life that is exactly the life that you wanted. Not all of it, but there's a part of it. And when you forget that, you lose out on recognizing you're already living in the dream and that you already have the power to create that future dream because you've already done it once. So you have to remember that where you are today is what you wanted yesterday. And what you want today, you can create tomorrow because you've already done it once. Strong people learn from heartbreak. Weak people avoid love. Strong people let go of grudges. Weak people hold on to bitterness. Strong people work through setbacks. Weak people give up too soon. Strong people take accountability. Weak people point fingers. But remember, strong people were once weak people who doubted their strength but tried anyway. When you're trying to avoid pain, you actually accumulate more of it. When you learn to accept pain, you can actually release yourself from it. It's almost counterintuitive if you think about it. When you're trying to avoid pain, you actually think more about the pain. When you accept the pain, you actually have the ability to move forward and move on. We think that the people we show up for should be the people that show up back for us. We want people to love us in the same way we love them. But people won't love you the way you love them. And that's okay, because there's someone over here who's showing up for you, and you're missing out on them. There's someone over here who's turning up for you, who's checking in on you. But if you spend your whole life wondering why that person doesn't give you love back, you're ignoring all these people over here who give you love all the time. Define a good friend.
I believe that friendship is two or more people who agree to grow together. And so a good friend is somebody who we have decided that we're gonna grow together. That's a good friend.
You have to disappear. Disappearing means doing the work. It means doing the work in the dark. It means building in private what you don't need to prove in public. It means doing the work when no one's watching. You stop worrying about what people think and start valuing what you believe. Because a life that looks good or sounds good is nothing compared to a life that feels good.
Why didn't you tell me you were going to leave me? Why? Why didn't you tell me you were going on a podcast tour?
I did tell you. I told you so many times.
You told me?
Yes, every day. Literally every single day.
I don't remember.
When people smile, it doesn't mean they're okay. When people laugh, it doesn't mean they're fine. When people are quiet, it doesn't mean they're at peace. When people keep going, it doesn't mean they're not struggling. When people say I'm good, it doesn't mean they don't need help. When people act strong, it doesn't mean they're not breaking inside. When people push you away, it doesn't mean they want you to stay. Look deeper, listen closer. Not all pain is visible. Some people just hide it well.
It's the DoorDash delivery guy.
One thing that really has helped me so much and that makes me feel so full of light and love is seeing signs. I know that he's with me and I feel him all the time. And I remember at first when he passed away, I didn't feel him for, I'd say, the first 5 days. And I remember one day I sat on the floor of his closet and I started crying hysterically, and I was so angry with him. I said, show me a sign. This is so unfair. Like, are you here with me? Show me a sign. And this is a stage of grief that also I want people to know it's okay to be angry. And I was crying and I was just saying, I'm so disappointed. I love you so much, but I need you to show me a sign because I don't feel you. I remember I went back downstairs and it's just It was such a simple thing, but my friends asked me, do you want anything from McDonald's? Me and Liam, we loved McDonald's. It was something that we would probably get like twice a week, which I know is not the healthiest option. It was just a part of like, just kind of our childlike things to do. And we would always get the Happy Meal toy. I said to my friends, you know what, get me a kid's meal. I'm not even hungry. I really don't want to eat, but I'll try to eat something, but I just want to see what the Happy Meal toy is, because it was around Halloween. It came in this trick or treat bin instead of the cardboard McDonald's like Happy Meal box. I opened the lid to try to eat some of the food, and I noticed there's this maze on the back of the lid. And it was kind of one of those mazes where it's like, count how many black cats, count how many ghosts, count how many pumpkins you can find. And on the back of it, it said the answers in small little letters, so you can, I guess, match it up to see if you won the puzzle. And our angel numbers have always been 4, any sequence of 4. And the answers on the back of it were 444. And that was immediately the first sign I got from Liam. And the number 4 symbolizes guidance and support from your angels. And this has been such a big part of our relationship. I mean, every single letter he's written me, he has ended it with, you're 444. It was always our thing. So the fact that the answer said 444, that was Liam listening to me. And he was giving me a sign saying, I am here. You're not alone. Like, I am here. And it made me feel so, I just lit up, I remember. And I still kept the little map. I have it folded up and it's in my bedside drawer.
There's 150,000 plus toxins in our environment that have never been here before. They do cause biological problems. They do cause hormone dysregulation, plaque in our arteries. These are all things that could eventually pile up and lead to chronic disease.
Dr. Darshan Shah is a health and wellness specialist. He's a board-certified surgeon, published author, entrepreneur.
Spent 25 years as a naval doctor.
With a deep knowledge in the areas of heart, cancer, trauma, and surgery.
What are the signs that we have too many toxins in our body?
Usually you're just not feeling good. Brain fog, allergy symptoms, your skin has eczema, fatigue, not sleeping well.
How do I avoid getting cancer?
And I always say cancer's biggest enemy is being diagnosed at stage 1. Poor metabolic health, inflammation, exposure to toxins. Once you start doing something about those root causes, your personal cancer risk starts to go down.
Why are you seeing healthy people having heart attacks?
50% of people find out they have heart disease at their first heart attack. Somewhere between 30 to 50% of that first heart attack is fatal. There are people in their 40s getting heart attacks, and women are particularly susceptible.
If someone has toxins in their body, is it reversible or are they stuck?
Your liver can detoxify you from almost anything. The problem is,
you start to realize we just treat friends like these disposable things, which I find so upsetting. To have a successful marriage, to have success at work, to be able to manage stress in our lives, friends. They're the ultimate biohack. They fix depression, they fix anxiety, they fix inability to cope with stress.
Multiple-time best-selling author, one of the greatest thinkers of our generation, one of the most impactful voices in the world of leadership.
Your best friend thinks the person you're dating is not right for you.
Sometimes not all our partnerships are understood by our friends. Very often they don't tell you until after you've broken up.
How should introverts think about friendships differently to extroverts?
The rules are the same. Every friendship should be additive. They should be worth the time and the energy that we invest.
What do we do when we feel the people around us don't believe in us?
Anybody who wants to have an impact in the lives of others has to get used to the idea that not everybody's going to like you.
God, I've been through so many things that at this point I would rather not feel than feel, because feeling is too much for me to handle.
All right, we're ready.
I am Khloe Kardashian.
Khloe Kardashian, everybody.
Khloe Kardashian.
There would be times that I was like, I don't even want to go out to the grocery store because I feel like I know what they're thinking about me. And that was scary to me, because I've never been in a dark place for that long.
You've always taken care of others. Have you discovered anything about why you've seen yourself take on that role in so many relationships in your life? How do you even find the courage to trust again? If you're fighting with your partner and you win, it means they lose. And because you're on the same team, that means you both just lost. And if you lost and they won, you're on the same team, you both just lost. So you either win together or you lose together because you're on the same team. So there is no win-lose scenario because you go to sleep with that person, you wake up next to that person, you have dinner and breakfast and lunch with that person. If you just won, you lost because you're sharing all the other time of the day with them.
There's never a right time to have kids, at least for me. And I always hear parents asking, when should we have kids? When is the ideal time? And to me, there isn't, because you're either too young and you want to go to college, or then you're done with college and you want to start working. And then when you're working, you don't want to take time off because you just started this job. But then, I don't know, 5-10 years down the line, you're a senior in this company and you're so busy and making so much money, and then that's an inconvenient time. So like, when is the right time? To me, there wasn't, and I just loved having them so young. And is it hard? Sure. But is it so rewarding at the same time? It truly is for me.
No, you first, but the point is, in the first 3 seconds you need something. But wait, you're 6.
Yeah, that
Takes more like them. This. Is if each cut we're moving around. So like I'm there, and then like the next thing you're there, and then I'm like just basically moving a bit of movement.
Are you too far then?
No, that's the point. I've got a mic here. What? No, you first. But the point is, in the first 3 seconds you need something.
Do we know what causes ADHD?
It's genetic. People are not producing enough dopamine. And the medicines we use, like Ritalin or Adderall, they increase the availability of dopamine. Now, the problem is if you don't really have it, what you have is societally induced ADHD. The medicine will disrupt you and make you worse.
I am truly so excited to share this with you. For the first time ever, I'm taking the On Purpose podcast on tour. 15 cities across North America, 15 shows, 15 surprise guests, and I'll be sharing wisdom that I've never shared before, insights and conversations that you listen to every week, live, in the flesh, in person. I can't wait for you to be there. And I'm going to be doing a special VIP meet and greet and private Q&A and meditation. I really hope that you can make it. To get your tickets now, go to jayshetty.me/tour. Don't miss out. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait to make memories with each and every one of you. It's going to be such a phenomenal evening. I'll see you there. We settle because the fear of being alone is greater than the pain of being with the wrong person. We settle because the suffering we understand feels safer than the happiness we haven't experienced yet. We settle because a part of us believes that familiarity is truth. And what I mean by that is when you've experienced mediocrity for long enough, you start to believe it's destiny. You start to believe that's the life that's been paved forward for you. But the deepest reason we settle, we think there's someone better out there, but we don't believe they exist for us. And it's because we have such a limited, restricted view of ourselves. I don't think it's that we have low self-esteem or poor self-esteem. That's a part of it. But the bigger part is we don't actually realize what's possible for us. And that comes because we've been told to play small. We've had people in our life, relationships, past exes, that have made us believe that if you play within the confines of these walls, that's all you're meant to be. Remember this. Stop saying mean things to yourself you'd never say to someone else. Stop being critical in your head just because no one else can hear it. Stop believing your worst thoughts just because they're loud. Stop mistaking your inner critic for your inner truth. Start listening to how you speak to yourself, because no one lives in your head more than you do.
I was always talked about my looks, always told that I was chubby. No one ever believed that I was my sibling's sibling. They would always say, oh, like, where'd she come from? Or she's related to you from like teachers. I remember so vividly. And that feeling of being always compared to them, but always not good enough to be considered their sibling. And I don't think these adults maliciously knew what they were doing, but it was so impactful that for children, I will do everything to include them, for them to never feel like that. And for adults too, but like with kids, I don't play. And I never want someone to feel the way I did. And so I want to be that rock for everyone.
I think the best way to show availability is one word. And it sounds like this. Hey. Just that. Okay. You walk to the bathroom, you walk to the bar, you walk by them. Hey. Just like that. Because look, and by the way, this is for both men and women.
Yeah.
Okay. Because life is too short to not hey.
Yeah.
Right. And there's no pressure. If you walk by someone in the gym, right, and you're like, hey, even if they have their AirPods in, if they like you, they're going to be like, hey. So if it goes good, the guy's going to be like, hey. If he's not into it, he's going to be like, hey.
Yeah. Right.
No problem. Right? Like, cool. Hey.
Yeah.
So it's like the most low pressure way when you're in the grocery store, even by the way, if someone has AirPods on, they're still going to see you go, and they're going to take out their earpod and they're going to be like, hey. So here's the difference, right? So I am using the lowest end of my natural tone. Research finds that we decide how confident someone is within the first 200 milliseconds of hearing them speak. That means the most important word you can say really is, hey.
A lot of us today are really scared of asking for help when we're going through a tough time. We're scared of even asking our parents.
Yeah.
We're scared of asking our friends. We're scared of asking our brothers and sisters because we're scared that our problems aren't big enough, they're not real enough, that they're not valid enough. And we keep questioning whether anything we have to say is enough, only to realize that if we don't ask for help, that's the biggest weakness. And our greatest strength is our network, is our community. And so don't put yourself in a position where you're your only stability and foundation, which is where Adrian's kind of at right now. He's trying to figure it all out on his own.
Yeah.
Every single one of us is going to lose someone we love. And the hardest realization is when you recognize that you love someone, but you still have to let them go because you didn't have the other emotional skills to keep love. Right? You can love someone, but not be good for them. And someone can love you, but not be right for you because they don't have the other emotional skills that make love stay. Love's not enough. You need emotional maturity. You need personal mastery. You need self-control. You need compassion. You need empathy. There is so much more needed to make love last. And so a lot of us are going to lose love because we didn't develop those other skills.
There's two different ways to describe being alone. One is solitude, which can be looked at as a positive. And then there's loneliness, which obviously has a negative connotation. How does someone who is alone or spending time alone decipher between the two?
I think in today's society, people would rather be in the wrong relationship than be alone. People would rather settle for less than they deserve than be alone. People would rather be in a toxic relationship than be alone. We've made being alone feel so scary and feel so bad that people don't even think about it. 80% of people will pick out their phone in a crowd just not to feel lonely. You just walk in through a crowd and you just take your phone out because you don't want to feel like you're alone. People struggle to eat on their own. When have you ever seen someone go out, sit at a table by themselves and eat food? If we do that, we have to get our phone out. It's very rare. So we've made it since we were young. If you think about it, if you were the kid eating lunch on your own table alone, you were considered the loner or the weirdo. If you turn up to a wedding and you don't have a +1, or you just got divorced, or you just broke up, everyone's looking at you like, oh, are you okay? Like, poor you. It's like if you don't have someone next to you, you're always seen as weaker, less than, or incomplete. We even say that. We say, find someone who completes you. What does that mean? It means you're incomplete without someone. So we've made people feel that if you're alone, you're incomplete. So we've villainized being alone. But Paul Tillich wrote about it, and the monk teachers reminded me that there's two words for being alone. One is lonely, and one is solitude. Paul Tillich says that being lonely is the weakness of being alone, but solitude is the strength of being alone. So solitude is saying, actually, if I can be comfortable in my own company, that's success. If I can like the thoughts in my mind and the conversations I have in my head when I'm alone, then I've had success in my life. And that's what the monks were trying to train you to do. That instead of always looking for the next bit of praise, the next bit of validation, the next bit of approval, how do I feel so centered and happy and content with who I am that I'm not looking for other people to fill the parts of me that are gaps. I actually look for other people so we can enhance and grow together. And so to me, solitude is something we all need.
Hold up, limitless, take us to my guy pinning it. I fought the head to witness it.
To see me, who would go to jail, get arrested, get into fights, steal stuff, break stuff, trespass, overdose 100 times, just a mess, and then to see me be successful, and I'd probably hate me too.
Julia Fox is known for many things: a fashion designer, actress, author.
You know, from films such as Uncut Gems and No Sudden Move, as well as the host of OMG Fashion on E, Julia Fox!
What's a childhood experience that you feel left a defining mark on your life?
My parents always fighting, like horrible, horrible fights. I would just like go into the bathroom and I would just turn on the hair dryer and I just lay on the floor for like 6 hours.
At 17, you decided to become a sex worker.
I could really disassociate and detach. I think that's why it was so easy for me to enter an industry like that. And I actually found the whole experience really empowering. For the first time in my life, I actually kind of gained some self-worth.
Where did you get addicted to heroin in that journey?
It's akin to like what being in your mother's womb would feel like. Heroin kind of became a replacement mommy.
You say in the book that motherhood saved you.
If there's one thing I'm determined to do is to not give him a childhood.
What was that journey for you to actually get clean?
I had to do all that messy stuff and be that girl to end up in this chair today.
I want to go back to the first time you ever met.
Thank you so much for this. One of the greatest.
Thank you.
I'm Selena. We're watching Disney Field.
When you're a pop star like she is, and you're a huge entity, and people set up all these walls before, and then the first second you like disarmed everybody.
By the way, congratulations on your engagement.
When you first were meeting and recording together, there was a sense of you were protecting yourself. What gave you confidence to open up?
What I felt for Benny, it was everything about him was honest. He'll tell me anything that he's feeling, and it made me feel like I could do the same.
If we would have met each other when we were younger, it would have never worked. We've both grown as individuals and met at the perfect time, and I believe life is like that.
When Benny looks at me, I don't think he sees anything but who I am, and that's very rare to find. But when you do know, it feels right.
You talk about being best friends so much. Was it scary thinking, what are we going to lose if this gets romantic? You're not responsible for how others decide to treat you. Their mood isn't your job. Their actions aren't your fault. You don't have to manage someone else's bad day. Their behavior is about them. It doesn't say anything about who you are. You're not responsible for making someone else grow up. Maturity is their journey. You don't have to carry that burden. What is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
There's blessing in the breaking.
To turn your nerves into excitement.
As cliche as it is, just don't give up.
Love fully.
Do what you love and the rest will come.
If your happiness depends on the actions of others, you're at mercy of things that you can't control.
Don't be afraid to fail.
What is supposed to be for you will come to you. And if it wasn't meant to come to you, it won't.
Be present. Be right there. Show up. Be present.
Just don't make someone fall in love with you if you're not ready to love them. You know, don't make someone fall for you if you're not ready to catch them. Don't make someone believe you're amazing when you're not willing to live up to that reputation 3 months in. And I think that's why people feel fearful about love, because they met someone who made them feel amazing and then took it all away. And then on the other side, I'd say to the person who's being fearful of love is don't fall in love too fast. Don't start planning your future when you barely know that person's past. Don't start dreaming of what your life's going to look like when you don't even have proof that they want to be in your life that long. Stop saying, I'm not good enough. You're not lazy. You're drained from carrying what no one sees. You're not falling behind. You're healing in a world that rewards burnout. You're not the problem. The pressure is. You're not unmotivated. You're tired of pretending you're fine. You're not lost. You're just not on someone else's timeline. And you're not stuck. You're processing, and that counts. The first thing we have to ask ourselves is, did I show up for you, or did I show up for you, for me?
What do you mean?
If I'm showing up for you, then I don't need you to show up back for me. But if I showed up to prove to you that I showed up, now I need you to show up back for me to prove to me that I did the right thing. It's almost like an insecurity of like, I'm doing it because I expect you to do it back. The biggest misconception about love is that we've confused inconsistency with excitement, and we've confused stability with boredom. We've confused that if someone shows up with effort, that they're desperate. If someone shows up for us with time and energy, we think they need us. We think that if someone actually has space for us, then they must be the loser. We believe that love means chasing someone who doesn't want to stay, rather than being with someone who never wants to leave. We're 1 week into tour. It has been an incredible experience. Seeing people laugh, seeing people cry, seeing people feel, seeing people heal has truly been a dream come true.
Jayshetty is #1. I'm still on cloud 9. Jayshetty just took me out of my comfort zone, and I have literally been able to meet such wonderful people at this show, and I am just so grateful for that.
I actually couldn't have imagined the incredible impact we've had, and we're just getting started.
Whenever you're with somebody, it may be the last time you see them again. You just don't know. So make it great. What have you got to lose? You may never see this person again. We don't know. Life is like, you don't know. So just make it great.
When you lose someone you love, that painful feeling inside is a reminder that life is sacred.
Yes.
That you should tell the people that are close to you that you love them.
Yeah.
That you should really value and prioritize time together and moments together. It's a reminder that pain's just pushing you in the right direction, nudging you in the right direction to say, don't make the wrong priorities. Don't set the wrong focuses in your life.
Right.
And if it went away, as it does, we also forget that. Oh, Benny and Selena, I'm so grateful to you both for just opening your hearts, being so...
Only with you.
Yeah, I can't believe you got her to say some of this stuff.
Yeah?
She'd never say...
I'm very, very...
She would never say any of this.
Is there anything you didn't say that you wanted to say?
I'm just really grateful that people like you exist because you bring so much joy to people and also understanding, so many different ways of life and navigating that. And I think you're a great example. So I just would like to say thank you. I trust you with that information, and it's always a pleasure to be with you. So thanks for having us.
To whom much is given, much is expected. The guilt comes from, am I doing enough? Me, Michelle Obama, to say that to a therapist. So let's unpack that.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama and someone who knows her best, her big brother Craig, will be hosting a podcast called IMO.
What have been your personal journeys with therapy?
We need to be coached throughout our lives.
My mom wanted us to be independent children. And she would always tell me, stop worrying about your sister.
Having been the First Lady of the entire country and representing the country in the world, I couldn't afford to have that kind of disdain.
What would you say has been the most hardest recent test of fear?
I'm gonna make him start so that I don't start crying.
My dad died when I was 19. I remember going out every night because I was an avoidant. Let me avoid these feelings. If I'm not feeling them, they're not happening. Well, that didn't work too well. I remember losing all my hair, gaining so much weight, hyperventilating when I would be alone. When I got a divorce, very similar. Let me go out, let me party, drink, hang out with new guys. What does that get me? I realized, okay, these ways of coping didn't work for so many years that when this time happened, I just said, no, I'm not going to date anyone. And now I have kids too. I'm not going to a club. Like, what am I doing? But having to face myself and intentionally be alone, intentionally do the work, intentionally every day I wake up at 5 a.m. because I need that alone time to have my coffee, do my prayers, listen to my Bible app, like whatever it is that makes you whole. I need that. And I know when I don't have that, how different my day feels. I like to set my intentions for the day or my workouts, the clarity I get, just whatever it is. Everyone's going to be different. If you need to be outside, you have to decide that. But it did take me a long time of doing other things and seeing how horrible those things served me for me to find, okay, this I like. And yes, it's easy for me to go and date a man and be an avoidant and distract these real feelings. But then what? The same thing is probably going to happen to me again because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just willy-nilly going through life. And what? Because somebody's cute or this, I'm not paying attention to the core of people and even to the core of myself. And I just started listening to myself and finding the things that really made me feel whole, but alone. And I know so many of my friends cannot be alone because they don't want to hear their own thoughts. They don't want to start working on themselves. And I'm not judging that, but I know how amazing it is to be alone with myself and to like who I am.
Anyone who doesn't choose you cannot be for you. Like, what is a relationship? It's someone sees you, they accept you, and they want that. That's the most beautiful part of a relationship. So if someone doesn't see you and accept you and want what they see, then this relationship is missing the most beautiful part of any relationship. It shouldn't even be, it shouldn't be desirable at that stage because it has failed the fundamental test of what makes a relationship worth having.
I really want him to text me. I don't know why I'm so obsessed.
Of course you're obsessed. We're all obsessed with people who don't message us back.
Yeah.
That's the person we're obsessed with.
I know.
Right? We say we want presence, but we love the person who's absent. Right? We say we want affection, but we're chasing the person who doesn't give us attention.
Why?
Like we say we want someone who'll validate us, but we chase the person who always makes fun of us.
Right.
Because earning love is what we think we have to do.
I'm sick.
We think that love needs to be earned, that it needs to be achieved. We don't believe it's something we deserve as we are. We've been trained to believe that we have to earn, chase, pursue, and achieve love. But you deserve love just as you are, without having to achieve or receive or chase it.
Couples come in basically saying, "Doctor, can you change my partner?" I think you guys should just break up and stop torturing each other, or I'm just not the right person for you.
Dr. Orna Gorelnik is a clinical psychologist, psychoanalyst, and a writer. The star of the groundbreaking show Couples Therapy, she explores the depths of human relationships and trauma.
Everyone feels like they've dated a narcissist. How accurate are they?
100% accurate.
When you find couples coming with financial issues, is it really about money?
They want to feel like, no, money doesn't matter, but it matters to everyone.
Do more people want more intimacy or more sex? What's the first hard question you should ask yourself in a relationship?
Can I give?
What about when someone feels, I've given them too many chances and they're just not shifting?
That would have been a situation where I would say that the pain of divorce is worth it.
How do you know your relationship is strong enough?
I would say...
It's just so hard to process that. He thought we had all this time and it was just taken away.
Breaking news, former One Direction singer Liam Payne
has been found dead at a hotel in Buenos Aires in Argentina.
I wanted to ask you why you felt that you wanted to come here to speak about this and why right now. I want to talk about how you found out on the day that we sadly lost Liam.
The day I left Argentina was the last day I was able to touch Liam, to hug Liam. In that moment, I still didn't believe it to be true. I was supposed to be trying on my wedding dress. I wasn't supposed to be wearing a black dress.
What was the last conversation you'd had with Liam?
One thing that really helps me day to day is reading letters that Liam has left me.
And I believe you brought one of those letters that you thought could share.
Yeah.
Do you think that we all have one soulmate or multiple loves of your life? This is a debate we have in my community all the time.
I love that. I think you'll fall in love with 3 different people in your life.
Ooh, okay.
The first is the firework. It's big, it's loud, it lights up the sky, but it fades away. The second is the candle. It's slower, it's quieter, it has a longer shelf life, but eventually you might leave it because it doesn't have the spark. The third one is the mirror, the one that shows you all your flaws, shows you a reflection, and shows you who you truly are. The firework will probably fade itself. The candle, you might leave before it fades. And the mirror, you might think it's broken because you don't like what you see. And so I think we often hop between all 3 of these because it doesn't fulfill one part of us. One doesn't have the spark, one doesn't have the longevity, and one is too honest. And I think I've been in love with all 3 in my life. What I found was that the mirror was the most powerful one because as soon as I didn't realize the mirror was broken and it was showing me exactly who I am, which is what my wife's done for me. And as long as the person holding the mirror is compassionate and not shoving it in your face, but holding it kindly there, it can be the most beautiful relationship that you'll ever have. But I don't believe in the one soulmate that you're destined to be with, because I really think that there's a soulmate for each frequency you operate at. We settle because the fear of being alone is greater than the discomfort of being with the wrong person. We stay because starting over feels harder than pretending we're happy. We chase people who don't want us just to prove we're worth wanting. We hold on because walking away feels like failure, even when staying hurts. We accept the bare minimum because we're scared nothing better is coming. We keep hoping they'll change because admitting they won't is too painful. Why do women cheat on men?
I've gotten in a lot of trouble for saying this in the past, and I'll say it again. When women cheat on men, it's not so much that, he's done something toxic. I've met women who are in toxic relationships and stayed loyal the whole time. It's simply when he lacks masculinity, they are most likely to cheat. I don't actually see women often cheating on a toxic man. They're actually quite loyal to him. They're more likely to cheat on the man that is too passive, too naive, and too people-pleasing. And the reason for that is because there's something about that man that is so soft, so naive, that makes her lose sexual attraction. Something about the fact that he can't spot red flags, something about the fact that he believes everything, he doesn't question anything, he's afraid to assert his boundaries, makes a woman crave somebody with a bit more masculinity. So it's not so much that they're cheating on him because he's so bad to her, because I've met so many women saying he's a wonderful man, he treats me really, really well. I'm just not in love with him.
When somebody leaves that you love, you think you're unlovable. You actually think you're never going to find it again. Mm-hmm. You hate yourself. That's why most of the advice about this is complete bullshit. Mm-hmm. Go love yourself? How the hell am I going to go love myself when the person I love more than anything just left me? I am terrified of the day that they're going to meet somebody. I'm never going to find that again. Telling somebody to just go on a revenge diet or you gotta love yourself, it's horrible. Mm-hmm. Instead, I want you to face reality. They left. Let them. And then let me grieve. You have to do a 30-day detox. And if you are somebody that's been holding on to somebody that left a year ago, I guarantee you have not gone 30 days without listening to a voice memo or looking at a photo. You are keeping them alive, which is keeping you trapped in something that's dead.
The hardest thing in life is knowing you're not behind. Some people are ahead in their career, but figuring out their marriage. Some people have children, but are figuring out their job. Some people have a relationship, but are still recovering from their last one. Don't put deadlines and timelines on your hopes and dreams. Keep moving at your own pace, in your own time, because your time is coming. No one will ever love you exactly how you want, because that's your job and that's God's job. We will wish, wait, want every single week, month, and year for someone to love us in a particular exact way, and they will always fail us because that was your job. It was never theirs in the first place. That was God's job. It was never theirs in the first place. Don't fall in love too fast. Stop trying to plan a future with someone when you don't even know what they did last night, right? Like, stop trying to plan like years ahead with someone when you don't even know what they've been doing for the last 3 months. We get so ahead of ourselves that we never even stop to look behind and see if they're coming along with us. And so we need to disconnect from this idea of, I want to find love in 1 or 2 months.
No way, Jayshetty, how you doing, man? What's up? My name is Devon.
Hey, man, how you
I'm
doing?
a local artist. I would love to draw your portrait.
Oh yeah, I love your stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
let's do it right here, real quick.
Awesome.
What's your name and what's one of your biggest dreams in life?
My name is Jayshetty. My biggest dream is to have everyone in the world have access to mental health tools.
So I know you became a monk at 22. How did that come about?
I met a monk when I was at college. He was invited to give a talk, and I was so blown away and inspired that I wanted to know how he became who he was. And when I graduated, I decided to follow in his footsteps.
How many hours were you meditating a day back then?
Sometimes we'd meditate like 4 to 8 hours a day. It was deep in the meditation. I definitely don't keep that up now, but it was beautiful.
Do you ever miss the simplicity of monk life?
I don't miss the cold showers or sleeping on the floor, but I miss the joy of being with my teachers who are just so peaceful. They're so calm. Just being in their aura and their energy is something I definitely miss. So me and my wife go back every January to start our year with them in the monastery, and that's one of my favorite things to do.
What brings you joy and inspires you nowadays after all the success?
What brings me joy is spending any moment with my wife. I'm always trying to convince her to do more work together so we can spend more time together. But what inspires me is people's stories. I love hearing someone tell me that my work helped them get through a breakup or a divorce, or that my work helped their family member stop them from committing suicide. Like, when I hear those stories, that inspires me the most, because it makes me realize that all you're really trying to do is impact one person, and if you can do that, then it's worth it to keep going.
No, yeah, for sure. How does that feel when people come up to you saying like, you changed my life? You know, that's like such a deep, heavy thing.
Well, the first thing I like to do is remind them that they changed their life.
Yeah.
I don't have the power to do that. And then truly, it can bring a tear to my eye. I feel really emotional when I hear that because it makes me just realize how fortunate we all are, how much struggle and stress there is in the world, and how everyone who's walking past us right now around us needs a smile, needs a check-in, needs some love. And so it's a beautiful reminder to me to keep going and keep doing the thing I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure. I really love human stories too. That's why I love to do this, sit down with people and draw them. Because everybody has, you know, their own life and thing going on. It's important to give everybody a platform. So as I'm drawing you, how do you practice being present in moments like this?
I have a practice that I learned when I was a monk, and therapists use it as well. It's called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you look around at 5 things you can see. So colors, shades, shape. Then 4 things you can touch. So my coat, my jeans, my shirt, my hands. 3 things I can hear. So your voice, other people passing by, the trains. 2 things I can smell. Maybe in New York you don't want to smell too much, but maybe. And then 1 thing I can taste.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when you look at the 5 things you can see, the 4 things you can touch, the 3 things you can hear, the 2 things you can smell, and the 1 thing you can taste, you're really present through all your senses. So that's a practice I do to take a mental picture or a mental photograph.
Wow, that's so cool. I never knew that before. Thank you for teaching me that.
Of course.
I'm going to use that. So what's something that people often misunderstand about you?
I think people misunderstand the journey that I've been on. I've lived so many different lives. I've lived as a monk. I now live in media, traveled across the world. I've lived lots of different versions of myself. And I think all of us are struggling to give ourselves permission to be all of ourselves. I think today we define ourselves by a title or a role or one job that we have. And to be honest, all of us are so much more.
Yeah.
Right? You're an artist, but I'm sure you're other things too. And I think when we have to choose one title to define who we are, it limits us. And so I'm giving myself permission to be everything and all of who I am. And I encourage everyone to do the same.
How do you balance relationships? I remember watching your interview with Benny Blanco and him saying something that really touched me of sometimes you just don't have space. When you have so much going on, when you're busy with work, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to offend people, but I kind of have to distance myself. But I'm such an empath. So anyway, that's such a big struggle of mine. How do you balance that?
It's all about communicating your intention. I think sometimes we communicate how much time we have. We communicate our limits, but we don't communicate our intention to the people we love. So I'd rather say to someone, hey, you know what? I really love you. I just can't do this weekend because I'm exhausted. And I just need a break, and it's got nothing to do with you. I love hanging out with you, but I'm really going through it right now. And I think we struggle with that. Usually we just say, hey, I can't make it. Sorry, I got a lot on.
Yeah.
And it's really different how that's emotionally communicated. So I always say to people, don't just communicate time that you have. Don't just communicate what you want to say. Communicate why you can't do it.
So you got this 15-city tour coming up. How you feeling about that?
I'm so excited. I can't wait. You know, I think right now in society, we're looking for community. We're looking for connection. And I'm so lucky that millions of people have listened to my podcast, and I can't wait for them to be in the same room. So when you look left and right, you're surrounded by people who are like-minded, people that are listening to the podcast every week just like you. And the fact that you're gonna have thousands of people in the same space, I mean, it's gonna be such a memorable evening. I can't wait.
That is beautiful. So it's basically like the podcast in real life?
Yes, it's the podcast in real life. We've got 15 cities, 15 surprise guests, and you're gonna get to see your favorite conversations in person, get the opportunity to ask questions. It's going to be super interactive. I'm excited.
That's so cool. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You got to come. I'm going to get you out to the show.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
When is that?
New York's May 17th. We're at the theater at MSG, so you got to come.
Wow.
I'll make sure you get a ticket.
Let's go.
And bring your girlfriend too.
Oh, I will. I got to pop out. Me and Valentina are going to pop out for jayshetty.
I'd love to have you there.
Yeah, thank you, man. What do you hope that people take away from the podcast and the live tour?
The thing I hope people take away from the podcast is that they're not as lonely as they think they are, that there's someone who's going through something very similar, and that they hear from the incredible experts and thought leaders we have so that they can actually make those changes and shifts in their life. I want to give people the tools, the habits, and access to everything they need to transform their life. And the same is true on tour. On tour, you're going to get to hear from your favorite experts, celebrities, athletes, thought leaders, and I hope people walk away feeling more connected to each other and more connected to themselves as well.
That's so cool. I wonder who the surprise guests are, because I know you know everybody. Like, you've spoken to every single person. It's wild.
It's going to be awesome, man. Some really great ones. And my wife might make a special appearance. She's everyone's favorite right now. So.
Wow. What do you want your legacy to be?
You know, it's a really interesting question. I really believe that the wisdom that I'm sharing and passing on has been around for thousands of years before me, and that wisdom will continue to survive and thrive long after me. And so I'm glad to just be a part of the story for now and then be forgotten. I'm okay with not having a legacy. The legacy is the wisdom that has come long before me and will outlast me. So the wisdom's legacy is intact. I'm just happy to be today's messenger, and I'm grateful for that. So no legacy needed.
That's a great answer. You're like, I'm the facilitator. I don't need the credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? What message do you think the world needs to hear right now?
Don't buy into the division. Don't buy into the lack of unity. There is more good than you think there is. There is more heart than you think there is. There are more beautiful, wonderful things happening every day in the world than you think there are. It's just that we've been bombarded with noise and negativity and notifications that have made our minds feel like everything's falling apart. And so don't lose hope. Don't lose sight of the fact that there are good people in the world. And until you find a good person, you can continue to be one yourself, continue to put good out into the world. And so just don't lose faith.
Wow, that just gave me so much hope. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
All right, Jayshetty, thank you for sharing your life with me. This is my interpretation of your life.
Wow, that's impressive.
Thanks, man.
That's amazing, man.
Thank you so much.
That's incredible. I feel bad. It's your birthday and I'm getting the gift. Happy birthday, man. Thank you for doing this on your birthday. I respect that a lot.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you. I can't wait for the tour.
That's great.
So you said MSG?
Yeah, theater at MSG.
Okay.
I'm out.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks
Have
so
a good
much.
one.
Appreciate
Take
it.
care. Keep smiling.
Can you mix behind your back? Just watch they don't spill. That's good. Now you agree that everything is
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Name any card.
8 of hearts.
Okay. And pick somebody else.
Jordan.
Jordan, say a number up to 15. Say a number up to 15. Yes? Can you come closer? Take all of them. All right. So let's go. You said 8 of hearts and you said 12. And you had shuffled behind your back. It was just a random thought on both ends, correct? Yes? Can you look at the 12th card? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hold on. So that next card should be the 8 of hearts?
No way.
Well, I don't know.
Why am I scared?
How? The person that texts you when they don't want anything, don't forget that person. The person who calls you when they don't need anything, don't forget that person. The person who comes over and swings by just to chat, even when you're busy, don't forget that person. We do it by starting to recognize those people in our life that are not big and crazy, but they're consistent. The consistent people in our life are the people that are forgotten.
Sometimes I've not necessarily been my best self, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a good human being. And I think sometimes we mistake not being our best selves with being a bad human being. And I think sometimes we have to say that that's not the same thing. And that we can forgive ourselves for not being our best selves because we want to be good human beings.
We've convinced ourselves that love is chasing someone rather than wanting someone who never wants to leave. If someone puts in effort, we see them as being desperate. If someone puts in time, we see them as being needy. If someone turns up and shows up, we think they're the one who needs us. We've confused inconsistency with excitement, and we've confused stability with boredom. Imagine you're knocking on a door and you're waiting for it to open. And while you're knocking on that door, 3 other doors open for you, but you're so busy knocking on this door and wondering why it doesn't open that you miss out on the 3 other doors that were waiting for you to walk through them. We all do this in our life. We're so busy knocking on this door endlessly that we don't turn around to look at the one that's open, inviting us. The real luxuries in life are things money can't buy. The moments we wouldn't trade for anything. The late night drives, spontaneous trips, and laughing until it hurts. We don't find joy in the stuff we collect, but in the memories that stay even when the stuff is gone. True wealth isn't measured by what we own, but in what we'd have left if it was all taken away. So, I have an announcement and I'm kind of excited about it.
Be honest. Be honest.
All right, I'm really excited about it.
Tell them what it is.
I'm trying, Radhi. I'm trying. It's my live podcast tour. I'm coming to a city near you.
It's your first ever live podcast tour.
Yes, I know. It's my first ever live podcast tour.
Tell them why.
I am so excited to see all of you, the millions of you that have been listening to On Purpose every week for the last 6 years. I can't wait to be in the same room as all of you.
Tell them where.
It's 15 cities. We've got 15 surprise guests all across North America and Canada.
Tell them where they can get tickets.
Okay, Radhi. It's jayshetty.me/tour. I can't wait to see you there.
Exactly. Who are you?
I'm your husband.
And what are you doing here?
I came to tell you that I'm actually going on a live tour. I'm doing 15 cities. We got 15 surprise guests. I hope you're not mad at me. I'm going to be gone for like 3 weeks.
So you've never done a live podcast tour before?
I've just been kind of putting it together.
And before today, you never thought about how much planning goes into a live podcast tour?
No, I just said that.
And you have absolutely no idea how to pull off a successful podcast tour, do you?
I mean, that depends on...
No, that wasn't a question.
I mean, we've been recording the podcast for 6 years. We've got hundreds of millions of listeners. I think people are really excited about it. I thought you'd be excited for me.
That's all.
You know what? I'm really excited about this. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm passionate about it. I'm excited about it. Everyone else is looking forward to it. Even if you're not.
Hey Radhi, for your next photo shoot, I just wanted to ask if this was a good inspo.
If you want to come, you can come. You can get your tickets at jayshetty.me/tour.
Who's that? Okay, so...
Every day starting tomorrow, write down one thing you did that required effort, even if no one saw it. Not what you achieved, not what got praise, just what took energy, courage, and discipline. Maybe you got out of bed when you didn't want to. Maybe you sent the email you were avoiding. Maybe you stayed calm in a difficult conversation. Maybe you showed up for yourself when it would have been easier not to. Because when you start measuring your day by effort, not recognition, you begin to feel accomplished without needing to be noticed. A wise person once said, great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. See, great minds can see into the future. Average minds can't see beyond the present. And small minds stay stuck in the past. What idea did you discuss today?
I don't care about what anyone says. I don't care about comments. I don't care about press. I don't care about interview. I don't care about what anyone says. I
love that.
Yeah, I just try to.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah.
What made you that confident? Because I think a lot of people need to hear that.
Because it's like this. Okay, why are you reading the comments? Okay, there's two reasons. You're either reading the comment because you want people to be like, oh my God, I love you. Or you want someone to say, you piece of shit, you're ugly, you look like shit. And you don't need either one of those answers. I rather just free fall through life, and I don't need to know any of that stuff. There's always going to be someone trying to bring you down. Hating is free, okay? So people are going to be hating all over the world. They're going to be hating from their bedroom. We live in this weird world where people seek validation in so many different ways.
Fair.
And I don't think We need, and I know it's hard and people want to read the comments, you want to look at it, but I just don't think I'm going to gain anything from it. In that time, I could be looking at those comments. I could be hanging out with my friends or like going on a walk or eating something delicious.
Whether you end up having Alzheimer's, it begins with like, where did I put my keys? We can't tell you which one's going to go to 10 years later. That adult says, I can't find my way home. Since we don't have that answer, everybody should do things to prevent memory loss.
Neurosurgeon and a neurobiologist, Dr. Rahul Chandial.
Why is it that we feel we can't remember anything anymore?
One of the most common questions people ask is when they start forgetting like where the keys are at, and they say, hey, is this Alzheimer's? Does this need to be fixed? Is this natural?
What are we doing every day that's distracting and disrupting our working memory?
Too much juggling, multitasking has its own issues. You want to get away from your thought hijacking your body.
Why do we replay negative memories? Why is it so easy?
So an emotional imprint on a memory requires no focus and attention. So emotional imprinting of a memory in trauma makes it sometimes too easy to remember, and sometimes it pops up without you even wanting to. When you're able to revisit a memory in a controlled environment, you can dampen your emotional stamp onto that memory. You don't forget the memory, you just disassociate the emotional feelings, the trauma, the fear, the physical reaction.
For anyone concerned that their family member may have early dementia or Alzheimer's, what should they be looking out for and how can they help that person?
Why don't I know about your podcast tour?
I don't know. I've been talking about it for weeks.
What?
I've been talking about it for weeks. I mean, we've been planning it for such a long time.
Wait, what?
Do you even follow me on socials? I mean, I've been promoting it for weeks.
No, I know what promoting is. I'm just surprised. You've actually been working on this without telling me. Shut up! Shut up!
I didn't say anything.
You've been working on this for months? That's really interesting. You're like really excited about this.
Thanks.
So you agree?
What?
You think you're really excited about this?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my god, I love your excitement.
What?
It's adorable.
It's so brat.
What is brat?
Oh, it's like slang from the internet. So, if you have a podcast, why is it live? Oh my god, Lala, you can't just ask people why it's live.
Could you give us some privacy for like 1 second?
Sure.
Coolness. So we'll see you on tour. We're only inviting a few cool people and we want you to be one of them.
Yeah, in case you want to get tickets, it's jayshetty.me/tour. Please don't make someone fall in love with you if you don't have the ability to love them back. Don't make someone fall hard for you if you're not willing to catch them. Like, don't make someone feel like you're going to be the person who's going to solve all their problems if you're not even going to be around to be patient while they try and solve them. We love to make people fall in love with us because it makes us feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that today and then disappear after 2 months.
In 1902, Charles Horton Cooley wrote, "I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am." Which means we live in a perception of ourselves. Let me break that down even more. What it means is, if I think you think I'm smart, then I feel smart. But if I think you think I'm weak, well, then I feel weak. This is the trap, and the world lures us in. Weak people notice other people's mistakes and laugh. Strong people notice other people's mistakes and learn. Weak people talk about other people's problems to feel better. Strong people talk about other people's problems to become better. Weak people gossip about others to build fake connections. Strong people express vulnerability to build real ones. Weak people envy people ahead of them. Strong people study people ahead of them. And the interesting thing is, both people are looking at the same thing, but they're seeing different things. Because no one is a weak or strong person. It's just what you focus on.
Do you think a couple can recover from infidelity?
The question isn't, can you recover? The question is, are you okay with remembering? The question isn't, can you recover? The question is, can you make sure not to remind them? The question isn't, can you not recover? The question is, how do I stop myself from making that our reality? You can always recover if you make those choices. And again, it comes back down to the person who didn't do the cheating or didn't do the mistake, because it's you who actually have to live with it. And the same is true for that person. Can they live in a relationship where they always feel a sense of shame? Are they willing to rise even with a sense of guilt? Are they willing to try and change even though they carry that pain, because they have a pain as well? And so it's such a together but independent thing, because you're both having to tolerate and be patient about the same stuff, but on different ends of the spectrum. One person's feeling shame and guilt, and the other person's feeling pain and stress and a sense of worthlessness. And it's all about how long we can tolerate those things for and move on. And that's not easy for both. And especially not for the person who actually was on the receiving end of it. But that's what's required of it. People would rather be in the wrong relationship than be alone. People would rather settle for less than they deserve than be alone. People would rather be in a toxic relationship than be alone. We've made being alone feel so scary that people don't even think about it. If you were the kid eating lunch on your own table alone, you were considered the loner or the weirdo. If you turn up to a wedding and you don't have a +1, or you just got divorced, or you just broke up, everyone's looking at you like, oh, are you okay? Like, poor you. It's like, if you don't have someone next to you, you're always seen as weaker, less than, or incomplete. We even say that. We say, find someone who completes you. What does that mean? It means you're incomplete without someone. So we've made people feel that if you're alone, you're incomplete. So we've villainized being alone. But Paul Tillich wrote about it, and the monk teachers reminded me that there's 2 words for being alone. One is lonely, and one is solitude. Paul Tillich says that being lonely is the weakness of being alone, but solitude is the strength of being alone.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate this. Is so special. Yeah, it was great. I think it went really well. Mate, this is the best day.
If I do something for you and I don't expect anything back, that's called love. If I do something for you and I expect it back, that's called a transaction. That's business. That's a contract. I don't want to have a contract with someone I love. So why would I be measuring them based on how they do the exact same thing back for me?
She gets spicy sometimes.
Yeah.
And when I see something happening, it's about guiding the missile, not adding a jetpack on top of it with like machine gun artillery. Like, I want to make, if I see her getting to a place where I'm like, man, in 5 minutes from now, this room could explode. I'm never going to let it get to that 5 minutes from now. I'm going to say, what are all the tools that I know that work for her, that I've learned over? Like, I'm not going to exacerbate a situation. I'm going to try to calm it down, because why do I want to be in that position where we're both just like upset about something? I don't want to just calm it down and tell her what she wants to hear. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like to your partner, be like, yes, you're right. You're totally right. Like everything no, I think you listen and you say like, okay, we're like, sometimes I'll say like, let's not let it get there. Let's like just talk about this. And I do think physical touch is always like a very big way. Like if you're in a conversation with your partner, like it's like sometimes just like a hand helps, or just holding their hand while you're telling them, or giving them a hug while you're telling them. And if someone's upset, let them talk it out first. And then after they talk it out, be like, okay, well, here's what I think, and you can work through these things together. There's such an easy way.
Very constructive.
Yeah, it's not always easy. I can tell you that. And sometimes someone wants to be frustrated. And it's like, sometimes she'll tell me that. She'll just be like, I know it's going to be okay, but like, I just want to be frustrated in this moment.
Yeah.
And I'll have to redirect, because I'll be like, you know what? You have every right to be in this moment. And she'll say, this is why I want to be frustrated in this moment. She said it the other day about something. I can't even remember. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, yeah. I was like, that makes so much sense. I was like, I don't agree with the frustration. We'll get there afterwards. And I was like, but I get it. I get it.
I've had to learn to be okay with the idea that if someone leaves, they are meant to. And if they're meant to come back, they will. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we're very afraid to chance it. We're very afraid to let a person go. We are afraid to let a person go. And we need to be okay with letting people go. Because they have their own journey as well. We don't know what path people are walking on when they walk into our lives. We might just be a stepping stone in their path, just like stepping stones are in their life. And they might just be a stepping stone in our lives as we keep moving forward. If we're not confident or comfortable enough to let that be a stepping stone to move on to the next one, we won't go anywhere. We're stuck.
How do I know the difference between whether I have ADHD or I'm just distracted because we're living in an overwhelming time?
Short attention span, distractibility, disorganization, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. They can't sit still.
Psychiatrist and clinical neuroscientist Dr. Daniel Amen
There's
says
one pioneering psychiatrist says that feeling better starts with understanding your brain.
90% of mothers work outside the house. When they have untreated ADD, they often look depressed and they get on something like Lexapro, which actually makes them more ADD, happier, but more distracted, happier, less focused, happier, more impulsive. You eliminate gluten, dairy, corn, soy, artificial dyes, and sweeteners. 70% of the kids lost their ADD.
No way. Someone's sitting here thinking, well, I'm not going to achieve anything with my life because I've got ADHD. What would you say to them?
You are only as good as you can communicate. So as you improve your communication skills, you start to shine your light more brightly in the world. Whereas a lot of my students tend to think, oh, but it's my boss's responsibility to see the brilliance in me. No, it's not. It's your responsibility to shine brightly.
Yeah.
So when you take it upon yourself, things change.
At what age are we actually old?
I believe that our perception of aging has to do with what we view of the future.
Is there something that happens in our 35 to 45 range that our sleep starts to become less consistent? How do we lose that stubborn belly fat?
Weight is not the measure for me. It's body composition. I never say lose weight. I say we are going to recompose your body.
Why is it that the high intensity interval training is not having the desired result?
Listen. Many people die for 20 years, Jay.
What's something you used to believe to be true about health that you don't today? If someone listening right now is between the ages of 20 to 30, what are those specific healthy habits that we need to invest in that are non-negotiable?
That is the perfect time to figure out your life habits. Learn to prioritize your health over those things that are going to tear you down.
If someone said to you, I want to lose weight, what is the best, healthiest, quickest way I can do it? Why are 30-year-olds today earning less than their parents at 30? And what are the challenges that will create in the future?
That's the first time that's happened in our nation's history. And I think that is a fundamental breakdown in the social compact. If you play by the rules, you work hard, get some luck, the basic goal is that your kids will do better than you. And when your kids aren't doing better than you, it creates shame and rage. The incumbents who ultimately weaponize government and put in place, advocate for their own interests, passing fiscal policies, have transferred wealth from young people to old people. The two biggest tax deductions are mortgage interest rate and capital gains. Who owns homes and stocks? People my age. Who makes all of their money through earned income and rents? People your age. COVID, $7 trillion into the economy, 85% of it wasn't spent. And it was all debt fueled, which sent housing and stock prices skyrocketing. It's great if you own a house, but if you're trying to get into the market, it took up the price of everything. When you bail out the baby boomer owner of a restaurant, all you're doing is robbing opportunity from the 26-year-old graduate of a culinary academy that wants her shot. In 2008, we bailed out the banks, but we didn't bail out the economy. And Apple, Amazon, and Netflix were trading at $8 and $12 a share each. I bought those stocks, and now they're somewhere between $180 and $700 a share. Where does a young person find disruption and churn? Because now a virus killing 1 million people would be bad, but baby boomers getting less wealthy would be tragic. 40% of all government spending goes to people over the age of 65. It's going to be over 50%. The average 7-year-old is 72% wealthier than the average 7-year-old 40 years ago. The average person under the age of 40 is 24% less wealthy. So there's this trope that young people are entitled. I believe they're entitled to be enraged. Education's more expensive, housing's more expensive. So the primary means of starting to form a household, the primary lubricant of upward mobility, education, have exploded in cost. It creates dissent and polarization and anger across our society.
Don't fall in love too fast. Don't believe what they say if their actions don't match. Don't settle for attention when you're craving connection. Don't dream about the future when you don't know their past. Don't confuse missing them with needing them back. Don't fall for the promise when the pattern says otherwise. Don't fall for someone before they're ready to catch you. One of the biggest problems in relationships is that if someone's into us, we see it as their weakness. And if someone's not into us, we see it as their strength. All of that is made up in our minds because we're saying, oh, well, if you're into me, then that means you must be weak because you're into me.
Yes.
And if you're not into me, then that means you must be really special and important because you're not into me. And so again, it comes back to us. What's something you used to believe was true about couples?
I used to believe that compatibility is the most important thing. And now I think that the capacity to love someone who's different from you is the best source of growth.
Every day I say, I love you so much, like I love you 1,000,000 times. And then I always tell her how beautiful she is and how lucky I am to have her every day.
It's so annoyingly cute.
And I always want to do that because I want her to know that every day I don't take anything for granted. And I still look at her and my breath gets taken away in so many different ways. And I said it to her last night. We were sitting, we were in like the pool or something together last night and we were just hanging out and I was just like, you're so beautiful. And I don't mean that just physically. I'm saying like, you can feel it. There's like a ring, like an aura around her that exudes just like warmth. And it just...
You're like making me want to cry.
If you do what you want, they'll misunderstand you. If you do what they want, they'll misunderstand you. If you speak up, you're too much. If you stay quiet, you're distant. If you set boundaries, you're selfish. If you don't, you're a doormat. If you succeed, you've changed. If you struggle, you're not doing enough. If you show emotion, you're dramatic. If you don't, you're cold. If you walk away, you're the villain. If you stay, they'll keep crossing the line. The truth, you'll be misunderstood no matter what you do. So you might as well be misunderstood for doing what you love.